images they see of themselves and the people who claim to speak on their behalf. That's what we're discussing on We the People today. I want to start with Shah Rukh Khan. Shah Rukh, My Name is Khan has been described by some as an important film, not just because of the circumstances in which it finally ran to full houses, but because you, as a Muslim in real life, have played a Muslim character on screen who isn't afraid to embrace his religiosity, and he's still a nice guy. We don't see too much of that in Hindi cinema, do we?
The reason we do have caricatures, whether they are Muslim or Hindus or even Christians for that matter, is so that, you know, very quickly you understand this is where this person comes from, this is what it belongs to, and quickly it is very important that we need to know his religion in this film. So those are characters that we do. We are actually, we are to be blamed for that, all of us, filmmakers.
It's a kind of shortcut.
It's a shortcut ki ye ho gaya na abhi Christian hai. So Margaret, and she will come out of the church, or a Muslim hai Salim, and you know he'll have a beard, and it is not in any which way to say that it's a stereotype. It's just to do it fast, okay? But I think when people start making a film about a full character, I mean, it's not just coming in between like say Khan was when Karan decided. My logic was, and I could be wrong because I'm not I don't have full knowledge of Islam or being a Muslim, to be honest, but the logic was that can we play him like we play a hero? We don't need to play the religious part of him as the hero. Let it be absolutely normal, because I'm a Muslim and I don't wear it any other way. If you have a discussion on Islam, like all of us will be able to tell you here, all of us agree that yes, we can clarify point of views about Islam, how much ever knowledge we have, depending on that. But we have never really gone out and started stating that this religion is good or bad or nice or fantastic.
But and isn't there a defensiveness sometimes?
Now, lately, I think there is a defensiveness that, you know, everybody starts saying, and that's what we're trying to explain through the film, that listen, we don't need to be defensive. Just be yourself. Be your religion and be casual about it, normal about it, like you are in your houses. You don't need to really prove to the outsider any other way except by explaining.
But there's that scene in the film, you do your namaz. And you do your namaz despite the fact that a lot of the others around you are saying, nahi, yahan pe mat karo. And at least I can't remember the last time I saw, you know, a hero who's also a namazi.
Yeah, maybe not in India. We haven't. But to be really honest, jitna humko malum hai, namaz I was always taught, niyat se padi jati. You have to believe in it yourself. Nobody can teach you. We are taught 5 waqt namaz padna zaruri hai. But not every Muslim follows it. Somewhere down the line...
Do you follow it?
No, I'm not able to follow it, and I'm very honest about it. I would love to, but I can't. But I think of Allah every moment of my life. So my logic is that let's play it like that. That see, अगर आप नहीं कर रहे किसी वजह से, अगर इस फिल्म के अंदर जो सीन था कि ये जो कपल है वो नहीं कर सकता, और एक और सीन भी है बहुत खूबसूरत जिसमें वो कहता है अल्लाह मियां समझ जाएंगे, you don't have to wear the hijab. So God will understand if you're stressed right now. But those who believe, go and do it, and it's absolutely all right. So we wanted it to be as normal without picking on the other character and saying, तुम क्यों नहीं पढ़ रहे नमाज? ये गलत है. It's okay, I understand. You're scared. You're defensive, you're worried right now to read namaz in front of people who you believe may not understand what you're doing or look down upon it or not rightly. But there's another character who says, but I think it's absolutely okay to go ahead and do it because niyat mein mere is waqt namaz padna hai. So I think I would say those are the teachings I believe in also, personally.
In your actual life? In
my actual life. I truly believe that it is, my religion does define me, most certainly. I'm very proud to be a Muslim, but what people would say is I'm an easier going Muslim. I'm a moderate Muslim, but I'm as Muslim can be, to be really honest.
I guess moderate Muslim is yet another stereotype that the media made up, the liberal media. Kabir Khan, you made the opposite argument, which I find interesting, about saying that in a sense our cinema would have arrived when you can have a regular hero who happens to be called Shah Rukh, who doesn't have to be this person who wears his religion on his sleeve. And we haven't kind of got to that yet, have we?
No. Every time there's a Muslim character in a film, he's there because the plot demands a Muslim to be in that story. I'm saying Dostana. John can be a Muslim character. The film remains exactly the same, not a iota changes. Such as his name is Rizwan.
I mean, could that have been?
It totally could have been, but we didn't. And no one does. It's very strange. He's right. He
And
does
no
have
one
a
does.
point.
And
No
that's
one
the
does
point.
it.
Why doesn't anybody? Go ahead.
Neither have I. I mean, even my films, the protagonists have been Muslims because the story demanded it. But I'm saying that's the time when we'll actually be able to break out of stereotypes. The problem is right now, whenever we portray a minority, it's always a stereotype because that minority is his religious or her religious identity is playing a part in the story. We need to be able to slip in other sort of religious characters without having to deal with their religious identity. That's when we'll truly start breaking away from stereotypes.
But Alec, if I can ask you, is there a problem with that formulation? Because somehow in the way we all think, you're a liberal Muslim almost only if you're non-religious. And the moment you say, "Main namaz padhta hu," you're immediately branded a conservative, almost a fundamentalist.
Yeah, and then the problem is that I think Islam is misunderstood. And 2 years ago, in fact, this thing bothered me a great deal. And I asked the Maulanas and all the religious leaders of Islam, what is it? Is Islam saying that we believe in violence? And this is the biggest point. And I was told on very good authority that no, Islam in fact means peace, the very word. It's like shalom in Israel, which is used in the Jewish sense. And this means that in the Quran, that if you kill a single innocent person, it means that you're going against the Quran.
And
once that was clear, I then said, if so many fatwas have been passed by the religious heads of Islam, I then spoke to my friend Maulana Badni, and I said, why can't you pass a fatwa saying that anyone who kills an innocent person is going against the Quran? And I must say very courageously, and he'll tell you more about it, he then devised a fatwa which was pronounced in Delhi in 2007. And just to come back to your main point, which is you don't have to be a liberal anything to be accepted in society. Idea of God, and this is what's misunderstood in our country, that the idea of God, he is a God of love and peace, and
Alec,
not a God of violence.
But Alec, nobody would disagree with you, and yet clearly it's not that simple. And there is a reason it's not that simple. And Karan, it's interesting that this is something that has obviously occupied you, whether it was your previous film, Qurban, in which actually there is an actual terrorist, a Muslim who takes to terrorism, or, My Name is Khan. Why is this such an abiding issue for you?
I'll tell you, 3 years ago, the reason I really made this film was I was in New York and I was with 6 people. 3 of them were investment bankers, 2 of them Oxford graduates doing very well in New York.